Shalom. Shalom and welcome. Welcome to Endtime Reflections. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah. And this represents the 8th installment of Endtime Reflections. My brothers and sisters, you will hear me talk about how there's a hidden purpose in the feast times, a purpose that can be used for vetting. And for such a time as this, vetting or examining one another as well as one in the mirror is important, as Yashar'al will begin to experience the discipline promised by the Almighty Father that will lead to our unity. Before I continue in this 8th installment, which is entitled Moving Parts, let me say this. The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the owners, management, and or shareholders of this platform. With that said, let's get started in this 8th installment. Moving parts. My brothers and sisters, I want to bring your attention to why moving parts is important and why it's important to be mindful of such. It is my attempt to answer the why. And this subject, the answer can come in the why as I direct your attention to 1 Peter 4:17. It says, because it is time for judgment to begin from the house of the Almighty One, and if firstly from us, what is the end of those who do not obey the good news of the Almighty One? And if the righteous one is scarcely saved, where shall the wicked and the sinner appear? My brothers and sisters. And it goes on to say in the 19th verse, so then those who suffer according to the desire of the Almighty One should commit their lives to a trustworthy Creator in doing good. In other words, it informs us that judgment begins at the house of Yahuah. So since we are facing judgment, it is a judgment that is akin to discipline. It is a judgment that brings refinement. It is a judgment that cleanses us. Moving parts. Each day we wake up is a result of favor from the Almighty Father. Consider Deuteronomy 8:3, which lets us know that man doesn't live by bread alone, but every word that comes from the mouth of Yahuah. I want to also bring your attention to Ephesians 5:18-21, which talks about being filled with the Spirit. It reads, do not be drunk with wine in which is loose behavior, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to each other in psalms and songs of praise and spiritual songs, and singing and striking the strings in your heart to the Master, giving thanks always for all to the Almighty One, the Father, in the name of our Master Yahusha Messiah, subjecting yourselves to each other in the fear of the Almighty One. My brothers and sisters, when we fear Yahuah, that's the beginning of knowledge. It is stated in the scriptures. When we subject ourselves to one another, that's recognizing that the Spirit of Yahuah can work in us, through us, one towards another. So we yield when the Spirit of Yahuah, in Yahusha's name, is working through another, speaking to us. We learn that subjecting ourselves one to another is not a quid pro quo. It's not a, well, I listen to you, you have to listen to me. It means to be mindful that the Spirit of Yahuah will use and speak through anyone he sees fit to us, as well as use us to speak to others. Being filled with the Spirit, walking, discerning what the Almighty Father has to say to us. These are moving parts, my brothers and sisters. 2 Corinthians 4:16 say, therefore we do not lose heart, but even if our outward man is perishing, the inward man is being renewed day by day. My brothers and sisters, we are, and for others, the words we are or we will for others recognize that there are some extreme challenges before us in these end times. Sure, it will be a struggle, but to those who are able to discern the guidance from the Almighty Father, we will recognize the strength and power of His might, the power that He have endowed us with, and we will endure to the end. End times will prove we will experience what is mentioned in Amos 9:9 and many more conditions centered around end time prophecies we will witness as well. Amos 9:9 said, "For look, I am commanding, and I shall sift the house of Yashar'al among all the nations as one sift with a sieve, yet not a grain falls to the ground." Sift, a shaking, my brothers and sisters. I'm presenting these words to stir the spirit within you and command the earthen vessel you are entrusted with. We are entrusted with by the Almighty Father. Let our spirits be stirred. Let us recognize the power and might of the Almighty Father. Let us begin to identify the moving parts. We have left life as we know it before the pandemic, COVID-19. We will never return to situations and conditions like what was yesteryear. I have yet to witness individuals with specific leadership titles like pastor, preacher, moray, teacher, priest, elder, etc. provide living instructions on what is expected and what must be done. Sure, anyone can read scripture to you, but who's discerning the voice of the Spirit of Yahuah? Who's echoing the warnings or instructions or guidance as we prepare to witness the rise of 144,000, 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Yashar'al, as mentioned in Revelation 7? Who's speaking of the preparation for the great multitude, which, when compared to the world population, would indeed be a remnant? Who's speaking on what we must do? Who's talking about there will soon come an exit time? There will be movement among Yashar'al. It's time, O Yashar'al, to begin to have the discussions, to discern the instructions from the Almighty Father and begin to become clear on what is expected of you. I want you to look in the mirror or look at yourself using your cell phone, computer, or tablet. Now ask yourself, what do you see? Who do you see? Now let me direct your attention to reflect on these words. Proverbs 4:23 through 27. It says, "Watch over your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the sources of life. Turn away from you a crooked mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look forward, your eyelids look straight before you. Consider the path of your feet, and all your ways are established. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil." Now think about what I just read, my brothers and sisters, in Proverbs 4:23 through 27. Think about, what do you expect your day to be like? Have you given thought to the voice of the Spirit of the Almighty Father? Have you given thought that the presence of Abba Yahuah is with you? Think about all that you do on a normal day. There are and will be challenges ahead, my brothers, my sisters. There are many moving parts to get through the day, of which we often take for granted. There are brothers and sisters who are facing the most challenging times, while there are others who are finding favor and peace, or Shalum, as they journey through their day. While we may not pay attention or take things for granted, the time is now to begin moving beyond doing the same thing over and over without regards to the presence of Abba Yahuah's Spirit among us. Listen here, O Yashar'al. There are many parts with every decision that we make, whichever step that we take, how we respond, the challenges, the debates or arguments that come before us, the resistance that comes before us, the things that we battle against as they cause distraction. Let us pray, my brothers and sisters. Let us begin to recognize the moving parts, and let us identify the set-apart actions that we have, that we can respond to the things that challenge us with set-apart actions according to Scriptures, or according to the way we have been raised by the Almighty Father's Spirit working through us, making Scriptures alive before us. As uncertainty swells up and people are searching for answers, I submit the Almighty Father Yahuah is, do, and will provide living instructions on what must be done. I want to challenge you to pause from time to time in the course of your awakening hours. Ask the question, Abba Yahuah, what would you have me to do this moment? What is it that you want me to hear from you? How can I identify my footsteps? Help me, Abba Yahuah, as I face some of the challenging times ahead. Ask again and again and seek the response. In the still of silence, you may find that the Spirit of Yahuah will respond. After you ask this question, take a moment. Identify any moving parts that help you get through the day. Whether you're working, taking care of a child, a loved one, an elder, a senior. Whatever your day consists of, pray, my brothers and sisters. And if at the very least, pick something that is set apart that you experience, something that is good. Believe it or not, at the very least, a heartbeat, a sound mind, the ability to walk or move about in whatever fashion you have been given by the favor of the Almighty Father. Moving parts, my brothers and sisters. It's time to have an eye, moment by moment, on the Almighty Father Yahuah and Yahusha's name. As I begin to wrap up, let me read 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 19. It says, rejoice always, pray without ceasing. Believe it or not, prayer, my brothers and sisters, prayer is not just speaking to the Almighty Father. Prayer is also listening and seeking to discern his voice. It goes on to say, in all circumstances, give thanks, for this is the desire of the Almighty One and Messiah Yahusha for you. Do not quench the Spirit. My brothers and sisters, I am compelled to believe when we focus on the will of Abba Yahuah frequently, we can begin to recognize the power and strength to release the strongholds, to walk away from the distractions, step by step. We can understand and begin to discern what it takes to come away from habits that are unseemly and wicked. It's time, O Yashar'al, embrace the moving parts. Within this tabernacle, within this house, this body, this earthen vessel, are many moving parts. From the heartbeat, to taking a breath, to a sound mind, to the raising of the hand or hands, to the movement of the foot or feet, to hearing, to the digesting of food that we eat. There's a lot of moving parts in our natural body. And I submit to you, in the body of Yashar'al, there are a lot of moving parts. I also submit to you spiritually, there are a lot of moving parts. Let us begin to focus and identify what is set apart. And let us take our fill of the word of the Almighty Father and be as fountain, overflowing with set apart words, one towards another. Rise up, Yashar'al. Our redemption draws near. There's much work to be done. As I state frequently, the 144,000 will not just be beamed up. These are individuals that will be raised up and emerge. 12,000 Hebrews from each of the 12 tribes of Yashar'al, as mentioned in Revelation 7. That's work in moving parts. A great multitude of many nations, kindreds, and tongues, as mentioned in the 9th verse of the 7th chapter of Revelation, as well as the 14th verse. Lot of work to be done. There will be much movement. There will be martyrs for Yahusha's name and more. End time prophecies are being fulfilled. We have come away from types and shadows, O Yashar'al. There are those who say, I've been telling you this and that for years. But what instructions are they giving you for now? What preparations are they directing you for now? I often ask the question, are you satisfied with your pastor, moray, teacher, bishop, priest? Are you satisfied? Are they giving you the instructions on how and what to do in the event of their demise? For there are many who have hidden agendas. There are many who fail to discern what the voice of the Spirit of the Almighty Father is saying. They will be exposed. They will be disciplined and reproved. Some will be disciplined unto death. Some will be disciplined unto correction. And some we will come away from. They will be purged from our midst. I end with letting you know my prayers are with you, my brothers and sisters. I pray that each of us grow in discerning the voice of the Spirit of Yahuah in Yahusha's name and respond correctly to his living guidance. Behold, O Yashar'al, our redemption draws near. Witness the hand of the Almighty Father Yahuah fulfill all that he has promised. On that note, I say to you, thank you for tuning in to Endtime Reflections, Moving Parts. My name is Symmanayah, and I say to you, Shalum.